This is Loggers and Loudmouths, Conversations Unfiltered.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 28 of Loggers and Loudmouths. I'm here with Mr. Cameron Halfacre and our special guest, you guys might remember, Mr. Alex Davis.
Well, now you gave away our last names. Now we're going to get threats or death letters sent to our house.
Yeah.
That'd make for a good episode, at
That
least.
would be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Well, my name's super generic, though. And you can't
That's
find
true.
me.
Yeah.
There's got to be like 1,000 Alex.
We don't even
Davis
know if he
out there.
exists.
Like millions, yeah.
All right, before we jump into our serious topic, Cam, why don't you tell us what we're drinking today?
Yeah, we've got a IPA out of Dreaming Creek Brewery. This is an ode to Tiff and I's hometown. Dreaming Creek Brewery is out of Richmond, Kentucky, which is close to where we grew up, close to where we went to college. And the beer itself is called the Natural Bridge IPA. Natural Bridge is a great area in our hometown. It's known for, well, this natural bridge that you can actually walk across. If you look on the front of the can there, you can kind of see that's the actual bridge. It's obviously not man-made. It's an actual rock structure, so it's pretty cool. So this is
so it's a natural bridge,
it's
is what
a
you're saying.
natural bridge,
Wow.
not an unnatural
Wow.
bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wow.
Wait, aren't all things natural?
No.
Explain.
I mean, things can be synthetic.
Yeah, but those came from natural
Natural
products.
things.
Eventually, all things come from atoms.
Yeah, of course.
All atoms are
Yeah.
natural. Therefore, all things are natural, right?
I think natural means naturally occurring.
Well, it does in your definition right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This
How's
isn't
that?
even the conversation we're talking about today,
Not
but
yet.
we can argue
Not
about
yet.
it if you want.
All right. How's the beer?
It's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
It's got I can't put my finger on the flavor on the back end.
it's got a solid 3.7 on Untapped. Doesn't give us a whole lot of descriptor. It just calls it an Amarillo IPA. Like I said, I'd like it
That
just because it's a throwback to our hometown. So
What's the ABV on it? 6.6?
yeah, 6.6, not
Okay.
too bad. It's a good drinker. Not
Yeah.
overly hoppy. You get
It's-
some hops, but
It's so it's an American IPA. So I was gonna say it kind of is in the middle of like a West Coast and a hazy. Like I don't get a ton of bitterness off of it, but at the same time you still get a lot of that hops coming through, not like a hazy would.
yeah, the can gives you just a little bit. It says it's Amarillo hops, giving it floral and citrusy character. That's about the extent of the descriptor.
Floral's a good description, I think.
It is. It's got a nice floral and definitely get the hops. But it's not. But it's not overly. What are the IBUs? 60. Yeah.
It doesn't taste like 60 to
No,
me.
it's actually. It tastes more like 30-ish.
I mean, it tastes like a pretty standard American IPA, in my opinion.
No,
I mean,
well-made beer. Well
yeah, it's
done.
solid.
Well done, Dreaming Creek Brewery. All right. So, like I said, we do have Alex with us today, just because you know what, Tyler and I were talking this morning, and we just need it. It's more fun when we have other people to kind of bounce things off of and just kind of fulfill the conversation. So, I don't know that we would consider Alex an expert in this, but we're not an
Sure.
expert in anything.
Nope.
I'm an expert at everything.
Exactly. See, that's the kind of confidence we need on the show. So that's why he's here. All right. So let's, Tyler, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so our serious topic of the day is religion compatible with science?
Wah, wah, wah.
Woohoo! Super exciting.
All right. We want to give our I always like to start with an off the cuff, and then we can get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, we can.
All right, Tyler, take it away.
I don't think I have an off the cuff. I think
All right. Let me reframe the question. then.
Okay.
Can religion and science coexist?
Yes.
Okay, Alex.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree as well. I do think they can coexist. I think there are aspects that cannot.
I think and this is kind of where my offshoot is. I think it's based off of how you are perceiving like religion. And I think in this conversation we're probably going to be falling back on Christianity a lot because that's probably what most of us are familiar with.
Yep. I've got some other ideas on different religions to bring into.
I think if you look at the Bible and you look at it as a literary word for word interpretation, then I don't think that and science can coexist. But if you look at it from the Bible being more of a metaphorical document,
Fables, stories.
exactly, I think it bridges that gap a lot further. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
All right, what you got, Alex?
I mean, yeah, I think if you believe in an almighty, powerful God, I don't know why it's such a stretch to believe that science can't coexist with that.
So, are you of the opinion that God gave us science?
Sure.
Or that science is a product of, I guess, him letting us become or evolve as humans?
I think, and this is just like some of my own personal philosophy in here too, but I'm a real big believer in free will. Like I like the thought of that. That's kind of what the purpose of us being here is. If you read the Bible, which again, speaking from Christianity, I can't speak on other religions. But I think if you subscribe to that thought that God can create everything, I don't know why it's so hard to believe that He can't create science as well. It's like I never really understood the whole growing up. It was the big thing between creationism and evolutionism, and I was like, why is it so hard to believe that God couldn't create evolution? Like if He can create the universe, why can't animals evolve? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't. And let's stay on that. So why do you think we have? And this is just kind of thrown out to the group. Obviously, we live in the Bible Belt. We live in East Tennessee. We all grew up probably around Christianity is the main religion, and there's extremes. Obviously, there's you have your extremes. So why do you think we can't get over this hump of like evolution? There are certain aspects of Christianity that completely say no, this is not possible. The Earth is 3,000, 6,000 years old, whatever it is. Why is that still here?
I think a lot of people lean on the Bible to get through life. And if it's in the Bible, then it's ingrained in them that is 100% truth.
So you think it comes back to literal interpretation of the Bible?
I do.
Okay.
A lot of it. I think it comes down to, and I've said this on the podcast before, people using religion as kind of like a crutch and like a peace of mind to get through their life. And if you fully subscribe to the literal interpretation of the Bible, then that's the ideas that you're married to, and any kind of deviation from what that says is absolutely false. And I think it comes down to how you were raised, how you were ingrained into these doctrines, and what you've held on to into adulthood.
That's fair. So and a lot of people will make the argument, and again, a lot of it comes back to the Bible and taking it verbatim, word for word. And I think that's where I think a lot of us, me included, have the biggest holdup. I mean, there's so many stories that just...
Well, I mean, the Bible is riddled with scientific and historical inaccuracies.
All right, go on.
Plain and simple.
Do you have any specific examples?
I mean, take the story of the Virgin Mary.
Yep.
I know what the story said happened.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that a woman got impregnated from a ghost? Not particularly. I think there are other logical explanations that would probably be more plausible than that.
Meaning?
She had sex with somebody and got pregnant.
God, how dare you? You're burning in hell, you son of a bitch.
I'm just saying.
No, well, I mean, you're right. That's just one story from the Bible. There's obviously multiple other stories that it's hard to take at 100% face value. Listen, God did not flood.
Do.
They did. He didn't flood the earth, and 2 of every animal was on one boat. That's just not it's not feasible in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and it's like a silly story too. I think to get so hung up on it.
It is.
That was kind of so talking about why people separate the two of them so hardly. Mm-hmm. And like my answer to that question is a little more cynical. I think it's because they want to feel intellectually superior.
I think there's a lot of that.
I think they
on which side? From which side?
So like I say I believe in the ark and the flood and everything. I want to be like, no, I'm right. You're wrong. It did happen, whether you believe it or not. And even though there's not a good logical explanation to it.
And to say that's my argument is science, and that's the thing with science. And I think we need to distinguish like what is like how science kind of compares to religion, because ultimately scientific theory is, when we say theory in science, we're talking about something that has been studied over and over and over again, and we can definitively say it. Evolution is a theory.
So I read something this morning that I think puts it a little bit in perspective, because we're essentially talking about science and philosophy, really. Mm-hmm. That's what we're comparing.
Yep.
So I think science is the how and religion is the why.
No, I don't disagree. I think that's a good way to look at it. Ultimately, that's kind of the thing, is we're looking at 2 different things. Mm-hmm. Science is trying to figure out how, like you said, how everything works, whereas religion is kind of the underlying philosophical aspects of those things.
Yeah,
I think, and I said this on the podcast before, I think people rely on religion to try to explain things that we don't have the answers to. And, I think people are naturally curious and want answers to questions, But I think when you go down that path, you're kind of just putting, logic together that doesn't necessarily hold water in the scientific community. And I know that's the whole premise behind faith. Faith is,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I believe this way, which is fine. But at the same time, the burden of proof falls back on you. If you say something, like, you have to back it up. And I don't think a valid response is, well, the Bible says so.
That's fair.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like, I took some. So I graduated from Carson and took some religion classes when I was there, and I took biblical Greek. It was one of the coolest classes I've ever taken. We talked just quickly on the Bible, and I'll get off my soapbox. But the Bible has been like retranslated and reprinted and rewritten so many times.
It was originally Hebrew, right?
Yep. Well, so the Old Testament's Hebrew.
Okay.
The New Testament is Koine Greek.
Gotcha.
So I took Greek. But the way that the Bible was translated through all these years is the Catholic Church was responsible for having scribes that would rewrite it.
Got it.
So what's to stop a king at that time from saying, like, hey, I don't really like the way this story pans out. If we rewrite it into this, it can be more in my favor. There's nobody there to stop him.
No.
Are you saying that there's inherent bias in Catholicism?
Not
Or
just
all
Catholicism,
religions.
just all religion.
Or in the Bible in general.
The King James Version, which is like the version that everybody reads, that was, that was Catholic. It was rooted in Catholicism. Like, so,
he named it after himself.
He did.
If you're that narcissistic, you're gonna probably change things to fit
you
your...
can look the dude up. He wasn't a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, King James wasn't a great guy.
I look at it kind of two ways. Either one way, it's kind of like the telephone game, and it got changed over time, maybe unintentionally, or you got just the malicious rewriting of things to fit a specific narrative of the time.
I'd say some of both.
I agree.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think it's going to have both aspects of both.
I mean, we have religion and politics like right now.
Yeah.
back then,
100%, I'm sure that was still happening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And worse. I mean, look at the Crusades.
For sure.
Like, that was killing in the name of God. Like, that wasn't a time that Christians proudly claim.
We still do that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to a lesser extent. I mean, obviously it's not as publicized, but one would argue that we're still doing that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So maybe not holding people to the sword exactly, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like a proverbial sword.
A different kind of sword, but
yeah, we still are.
Same concept. Yeah, it might not be physical sword, but
yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, went on a little side story there, but
I like side stories.
I like those little adventures.
That was kind of my thought on why I think it's dangerous to lean on the Bible as pure fact because it has been reshaped so many times throughout the course of history.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's over 2,000 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Which, in the grand scheme of things, is not that old.
No, it's not in the grand scheme of the earth.
Well, and there's several, like the Dead Sea Scrolls and like other books of the Bible that weren't included in the Bible. Why?
Humans have inherent bias, and that's been, I think, a thing ever since the first humans existed. Being able to take something... as fact like that, I don't think is logical. Like I said, I understand how people can rely on it. And if you look at it as a metaphorical document to help you, relate to things in life to help you get through, I think that's really, really good. And if that works for you, that works for you. I think if you're taking it from a literal interpretation, that's kind of extreme, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I think there's a lot of good concepts and stories and ways to live your life that are valuable. But I think if you're like, again, I think we're gonna bridge into a different category if I keep going down this path.
Keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
I think you kind of bleed into dangerous thought when you are just pulling trying to pull facts. From the Bible when it's how people live their lives or what they believe.
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately that's kind of what we're doing, right? We're just trying to help people be better people.
Mm-hmm.
I think in its purest form, that's what
was the ultimate goal.
That's the ultimate goal
of any religion, really,
sure.
Except for maybe some offshoots like Wiccan or something like that. They just want to cast spells and do witch things.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, at the root of all religions, isn't it really just about being a decent human being?
Yeah.
I think that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a guide for how to be a good person. I think that's at the very base and
we use stories.
Pure value. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like when you teach your kid a lesson. You teach your kid a lesson by probably relating it to some sort of story or some sort of life event. Bible does the same thing. Religion does the same thing, right?
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. I think it's the consumer. The consumer really manipulates how it goes. And I mean, whoever can grow the biggest base and have the most followers, and that's the dialogue that the people in charge are able to kind of manipulate and steer.
Are you saying we're starting a religion right now?
We should.
All right. What is the overarching theme of your religion, Tyler?
I don't know, man. I'm not a big religion guy.
I know it's your religion, though. Our Father who art in Tyler, hallowed be thy name.
Honestly, if I was going to start a religion, I would just want to start it based on the premise of chill vibes.
Chill vibes.
Chill vibes.
Yeah, I like that.
That could take off.
I think so.
I feel like that's how every cult has ever started.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some people out there who have something to say about that. So, all right, just kind of getting back to the main topic at hand. There are a lot of religions out there that embrace science a lot more than others.
Scientology.
I was just about to say.
That's true. I mean, it's in their name.
It's bulletproof. I don't see any argument.
Yeah, as long as you pay enough money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Scientology. So tell me kind of what is their overarching theme.
Well,
I don't
there's
know much
aliens in your blood.
Tyler,
I'm in.
You just sold Tyler.
I'm not making this up. So it's based off of a set of books from L. Ron Hubbard.
Okay.
There are aliens in your blood, and you have to ascend to a certain level of clarity to be able to go into like whatever their version of heaven is.
How does one get to clarity?
Usually it's through a lot of money.
Financially.
Yeah, you pay the church a
I
whole lot of money.
thought there was going to be some drugs. I was like, all right, I can be bought here.
No drugs. A lot of exploitation. It's terrible. Like, it's pretty bad.
That
I've
pastor-
watched a couple documentaries on it. It's nuts.
That pastor needs his Lamborghini and private jet to spread the word of the Lord. I mean, that's
you're talking about Christianity now. Joel Osteen.
So Tom Cruise is at the top level of purity
Of
in
course he is.
Scientology.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But I don't know. I won't get into the Joel Osteens of the world because that
Oh, man, I
that
could
makes
go on
you
a whole
hate
thing.
religion.
yeah,
it really
I go on a whole
does.
thing about guys like that.
What'd you find on Scientology?
pretty much
What Alex
a
was
distilled
saying.
version of
All
what
right.
Alex said.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Um,
See, you didn't know. I told you I was an expert.
all right. So outside of Scientology, even there are some religions that embrace science more than others. Unitarian Universalism. This is a big one.
Okay.
So basically, the whole idea of this universalism is one. It's universalist, that all people are good, and that there isn't one superior religion. And I think I probably subscribe to this a bit more, because ultimately, what this religion, I guess, it wants you to be is just a good person.
Okay.
It doesn't put any like caveats on it, like you have to subscribe to this or tithe this % or anything like that. It's just hey, be a good person. That all people of the earth, no matter which religion you subscribe to, are still like gonna make it to wherever you make it to.
On this topic, according to the internets, Buddhism and science
Yep.
have been regarded as complementary.
And
Would
Buddha,
not have guessed that.
but a lot of people don't actually consider Buddhism a religion. It's more of
More
a
of a philosophy.
Yeah, it's more of a philosophy. And I've read a bit about Buddhism. I'm intrigued by it because it's just more about being a good person at the end of the day.
Is it the Buddhists that believe in reincarnation?
Yes, I'm almost certain. I'm not 100%
I don't know.
positive.
Are there any religions that are not about being a good person?
Scientology. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Wiccan.
I just want to know if there's any of them that are like, I want you to be as bad as you.
I
can
just want you to
possibly
throw
be.
ragers
Yeah.
and get drunk and
cast spells
sex parties.
Yeah.
Reincarnation.
How
is-
awful can you be?
Sorry. So, side note: reincarnation is a central teaching in Buddhism.
I thought so.
Okay.
Let's see what the Google says. Religions that embrace, what would be the right word?
Science.
No, we're doing the opposite.
Oh,
Evil.
Yeah.
Debauchery.
Debauchery.
Say you probably get Wiccan, Satanism,
You guys,
shit like that.
have you heard of Pastafarianism?
All
They
right.
believe in the
all
great
right.
spaghetti god
Oh,
in the
Jesus
sky.
Christ! No.
So the first hit on the Googles is a religion called total depravity.
fuck yeah. What is that?
All right, so total depravity, also called radical corruption or pervasive depravity, is a Protestant theological doctrine derived from the concept of original sin. It teaches that, as a consequence of the fall, every person born into the world is enslaved to the service of sin as a result of their fallen nature and apart from the efficacious or prevenient grace of God. So basically, you're able to completely choose kind of how you go throughout this world, no matter what that looks like.
That description sounded extreme.
It was.
Yeah, I would say that sounds a lot less.
I can't even say some of the words.
Like, oh.
All right. So kind of offshoot to that then. This kind of got my brain jogging. Do you think people are born inherently good or bad?
Oh, we talked about this before
Have we?
with Leslie.
Okay.
Are people born inherently good or bad? No, I don't think so.
You think we're shaped by...
Yes, I think you're shaped by your experiences. I don't think you're predispositioned to being a piece of shit.
All right, so do you think we had... Alex, go ahead, and then I'm going to...
I don't know. That's hard. Like, I don't necessarily think they're, like, born good or bad. I think there's certain dispositions or, I mean, even, like, you know, if you're born with a certain mental deficiency or, you know, whatever, like, you might be more predispositioned to being good or bad. You know, I don't know. I think that's kind of a tough...
It's a little bit more of an outlier, I would say, though, too.
Yeah, you know.
It is. I mean, there's obviously going to be
There's gonna
outliers
be
in
outliers.
everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do you think it's harder to be good or do you think it's harder to be bad? It just in everyday life.
It's harder to be good.
It's harder to be good.
So do you think we're inherently born perhaps not as good and we have to learn to be, or more bad and we have to learn to be good?
I think it comes down to self-control, and I think again, like I said, I think it comes down to how you were influenced at a very young age because, you know, children are very susceptible to their environment. So
Of course.
if you're in an environment where, you know, your parents are pieces of shit, you're probably going to grow up to be a piece of shit. Whereas if, you know,
higher likelihood.
Yeah, if you grow up in a different, you know, more loving, supportive household, I think those kinds of teachings are instilled upon you, and, you know, your parents explain, like, yeah, I know, you know, doing this sounds fun, but, you know, don't do this because it's bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And listen, there's some pretty good and well-respected scientists out there these days that do make the argument for religion and science coexisting quite harmoniously. So there's a few good books out there. Look up Finding Darwin's God. Guy by the name of Dr. Kenneth Miller. He kind of explains how he makes the case for how you can have religion, how you can have science, and how they don't have to clash.
I really think it comes down to the individual's interpretation of the religion.
Do you think it changes by religion?
I don't think,
because I mean, at the core, aren't all religions pretty similar?
I think it changes by person.
I think I agree, and I don't think I know enough about other religions to provide an accurate answer to that.
No, you're right. We need somebody in here who has a religion outside of us.
Yeah,
that would be nice. Get their perspective.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't think we know anybody.
It's a total depravity.
Oh no, we do know that one guy who stands on the corner and yells at people.
What is his religion?
One guy that stands on the corner.
Hell's Corner, yeah.
Hell's Corner, yeah. I don't know what his religion is per se.
It's got to be super fundamentalist Christianity.
I know he lives and dies by the King James version of the Bible.
Gotcha.
So I mean, there's
a lot of people that do.
He's pretty fucking
like snake handling.
I don't know him enough to know it, and he privatized his Facebook
on the podcast.
Fuck no.
Oh, that'd be great.
What's that called? I mean, it's like Backroads Baptist, but there's like
what, the snake handling?
Yeah.
Pentecostal?
Yeah.
Well,
Pentecostals, don't they do snake handling?
The really, really hardcore ones, yeah, sometimes.
Hold, please. Let's see.
We've got the Googles.
The Church of God with signs following.
What? No,
you're just making shit up.
You're making that up. Is that your religion?
I couldn't even pronounce it. I don't think I'm a part of it. What religion is snake handling? The practice began in the early 20th century in Appalachia.
Hey, that makes sense. Yeah,
and plays only a small part in the church services.
What is the idea?
Pentecostals is mentioned.
What is the idea behind snake handling?
That God protects me. So if the snake bites me, I'll be fine. And if it kills me, then I didn't believe in God enough.
It's a venomous snake, by the way.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's always like a copperhead or like something that like could kill you.
Yeah, no, science doesn't agree with that.
No, that's just dumb.
Science says, hey, if I play with a python, I got a 50-50 shot to die.
Yeah, like I don't really understand that.
Snake handling as a religious ritual began in 1909 in Tennessee. Snakes, snakes, typically rattlers, are passed among the congregation for handling. Church elders.
There's still churches that do it. Like it's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we could probably go somewhere today and find a church that's doing that.
You want to do it?
I mean, I wouldn't be God damn it! I do not want to touch that thing. Fuck.
No. I don't like a gardener snake.
I don't like snakes at all.
Same. I see a snake and it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
I won't kill them if I know they're like a little. We had probably a 3-foot black.
If they're getting a little too close to the snake or to the house, I'm like, you might be inside the house. And if you make it inside the house, you're definitely trespassing and you'll die.
Yeah,
like that's just,
agreed. No, there are limits there.
Oh yeah.
All right. What are you coming up with?
I'm just reading Reddit. I'm going down a Reddit rabbit hole.
Oh, man. Don't do that.
I do love Reddit rabbit holes.
This comment just says, man, Pentecostals are all kinds of fucked.
They're not wrong.
Oh, my God. Dude, I got to get out of this because I'm going to go down a fucking rabbit hole.
All right, so I want to offshoot, just kind of staying on our main theme here. Should public schools be allowed to put caveats on text and tell students that evolution is not
fake, real,
fake?
whatever?
Yeah. I mean, we have some colleges. Liberty College here in Tennessee is a very, very big one. They do not teach evolution. They teach 100% creationism in their science courses. Do you think we should? I mean, obviously, they are a private institution. They can do whatever they want.
You can't do shit with private institutions.
Agreed.
I think
but
that's fine. People are choosing to go there. But for public schools, what do you think?
If you're going to introduce one theory, you should introduce the other, like the competitive theory, and let you form your own opinion. Like I think, you know what I mean?
Ultimately, isn't that the goal of education?
See, I don't agree.
Yeah, it's critical thought.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, I don't think, because
there probably has to be not necessarily a caveat, but
you got to take private schools out of the equation because that's
we're not talking about that.
Okay, so if you're
we're
just
talking about my public tax dollars going to this high school,
public tax dollars going to a public high school, public grade school, whatever, your curriculum needs to be ingrained in factual evidence. Period. And religion is not factual evidence. I don't care how you try to spin it; it's not.
I mean, evolution's a theory, though, right?
Evolution is There's no arguing evolution. We have proven it time and time again.
So that's not a theory. That's fact.
No, theory and science is there. There's a small discrepancy. Fact in science is actually less than theory. Theory is kind of the top tier in science.
No shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Theory. It sounds counterintuitive.
It sounds counterintuitive.
It does, because theory is like, oh, I think this is going to happen.
Right.
And in normal, that's right. But a theory in science is definitive evidence. Cell theory. We're all made of cells. That's definitive. We all know that.
Right.
There's lots of other theories out there. But theory in science means you have definitive evidence. We have proven time and time and time again that it does this.
Which, I mean, evolution is considered over spans of thousands and thousands of years. So,
millions.
If we can't prove that, yesterday's velociraptors are today's chickens. You know what I mean? Because I've seen those theories.
I mean, we have carbon dating, so obviously we know that things existed millions of years ago.
Sure, and you can tie some DNA pieces together.
Of course.
But it's the same way you can look at like my Shih Tzu is very closely related to a wolf. You know what I mean? It doesn't
technically genetically
by DNA, yeah.
I mean, we're genetically close to chimpanzees. We're 98.9% the same as chimps.
So I don't think it's a huge leap to get to that point, but it's not technically fact, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So if we're going to introduce one theory, we should introduce another.
But I thought you said it is technically fact.
Evolution is.
Okay.
Evolution, we can.
So you guys are saying two different things then.
Yeah, no, evolution we can definitively
say that
we
to
have
that degree though.
Yeah.
We came from apes. We can say that definitively.
We didn't come from apes.
Okay.
We share 98.
But we're closely related.
Have we talked about the stoned ape theory?
No, tell me about it. What you got?
Ape theory.
I know a general overview. Let me Google it.
If you get an ape stoned, then they'll talk like a person.
From what I understand, so there's from my fucking peanut brain level understanding of evolution in humans, there's a fossil record gap between what we know as Homo sapiens right now and what was prior. And I think that, and I'm going to double check this, the stoned ape theory is a controversial theory, all right, that claims that the cognitive revolution and the transition from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens was caused by the consumption of psilocybin mushrooms about 100,000 years ago.
So we did enough shrooms to
say that one more time.
Is that what you're saying?
All right. So the stoned ape theory is a controversial theory that claims that the cognitive revolution of the transition from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens was caused by the consumption of psilocybin mushrooms around 100,000 years ago.
So the logic being that we took mushrooms and got smarter, essentially?
The logic is that Homo erectus found psilocybin mushrooms, and that is I'm not going to say theory because by your definition, but put whatever fucking term you want in there. But that is what kind of sparked the evolution into Homo sapiens with the, doubling of the brain size in a short duration of time, things of that nature.
So you say, all right. I mean, I'm not sure I buy it. I'd need more evidence, but
Sure.
I like the idea that we did shrooms and it basically broadened our horizons intellectually, which eventually turned us into what we are now.
There is a fact that, what we now know as humans, the biggest question is, how did the brain, develop into double the size in, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of years. It was relatively evolutionary speaking, yes.
The scientific boom in the past, 200-300 years?
Oh, is it crazy even
right.
that?
It was slow.
I mean, just think about 100 years ago, we were barely driving cars.
Oh, yeah.
We've been to the moon. We're trying to go to Mars. I mean,
allegedly.
Did we?
Stay tuned for the next podcast. So yeah, just kind of getting back to evolution. So again, we do consider evolution a definitive science. We got fossil records. We got DNA evidence that dates back millions of years that we can support it. So ultimately, evolution is a theory, and again, by scientific definition, is something that we can prove over and over and over again.
Okay.
I want to fact check you on that.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to fact check him on that.
I'm just curious. A scientific theory is a well-supported explanation for natural phenomenon that's based on facts, hypotheses, and laws. Theories are developed using the scientific method, which involves observation. I thought, okay. Well,
we learned that nicely.
Come on, man. I do this for a living. Yeah. That's what theory is.
I believe you.
So ultimately, that's what a theory is. So that's I guess maybe that's my hang-up is we can't prove religion in any way, shape, or form. Can
it's faith. I say it's all based on faith.
And ultimately, that's kind of the catch-22 here is we're trying to marry two things that probably shouldn't be married. Can they exist side by side? Sure.
I think faith and fact can exist together.
I agree. I'm not saying they can't exist,
right?
But I think that they don't have to necessarily be cohesive.
No, I think they can be two separate things.
Yeah.
I also don't think that it says it in the Bible is a valid point of justification.
Give me an example. What are you talking about?
Anything.
Anything?
Pick anything.
Well, I think most of the stuff is, I don't want to get too far down controversial topics. But
we like controversial topics.
I mean, I'm just talking, if you want to talk about gay marriage, abortion, go down that. I don't want to get into the whole gambit of that. But if you're pulling your answer for that solely off of the Bible, you need to take a step back, I think, and just okay, why?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's fair.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right. I mean, like I said, we're not going to beat this dead horse.
No.
I think we're ultimately all three in favor of science and religion coexisting. I don't think there's any reason they can't.
No.
I would love to hear somebody's opinion on both sides. Somebody who definitively thinks that no, science is all being, and somebody who definitively thinks that no, religion is all being, and they don't coexist. I would love to hear somebody's argument there.
Yeah,
for sure.
If we know anybody, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And please, share your topic or your thoughts on this topic. So for fun today, we're just going to keep it kind of random. We didn't have a main theme. We're going to do a few would you rather questions, just kind of see where the topics take us.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah. Let's see what we get today. I like would you rathers. They just kind of throw.
It really goes down a path that you didn't expect.
They almost always do. The questions at their face value look pretty straightforward, but then you get ideas and I get ideas and he gets ideas, and then we're like, oh wait.
The key is asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's see. I'm going to do this one just because Alex put it on our Facebook a couple weeks ago and we didn't get to it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Ooh. I would think I would rather fight one horse-sized duck.
Ducks can be vicious, even the tiny little
shot,
ones.
Man. That duck would rip you apart.
Have you ever seen a duck get mean?
I don't know. 100 ducks.
You think you could get your hand around its big, thick duck?
No.
Horse duck neck?
I mean, if I know I'm fighting it, I think I'm going in with a weapon. I mean, it didn't say hand-to-hand combat. It didn't say that, though.
All right, rephrase
I just changed it. You don't get
weapons.
weapons.
No weapons. Hand-to-hand combat.
I don't know. 100 horse-sized ducks.
That's a lot.
I am kicking a ton of little horses.
Dude, a little horse like that big, it'd be like,
I could do it.
Be like I don't know.
It'd be like your Shih Tzu. Could you kick 100 of your Shih Tzus attacking at your heels?
Dude, their teeth, man, are so freaking blunt.
Horse teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, but his mouth's tiny because he's little.
He might leave little nibbles. You might have some ankle biters.
He's gonna nibble on you, but he'll be all right.
About 100 of them?
Yeah, just start punting them, man.
That's a lot of ducks.
You could,
that's a lot of horses.
You could pick one up by its tiny little horse body and use it as a club.
Sure. You said no weapons.
No, I just turned the horse into a club. I didn't bring a weapon.
He didn't bring a weapon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's harder to focus on 100 tiny things than one large thing.
I just feel like I'm getting waxed if it's a giant duck.
I mean,
Probably.
a duck that's the
Yeah.
size of a horse. Let's say like a Clydesdale horse. Have you seen a Clydesdale?
Oh, they're big.
Those things are huge.
They're big.
Yeah.
They're
So
like
a duck the size of a Clydesdale.
how would you? All right. So
But
how would you realistically defeat this Clydesdale-sized duck?
In hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah. Well, what's your first move?
Like at least with the tiny ones, you got a chance.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
With this big one, I don't think you have a chance. I mean, how am I going to get this?
I'm
giant
getting like
duck?
at least one good like John Woo style like movie scene out of my fight with 100 horse ducks.
before you go down and you're just engulfed
Yeah.
by duck size.
But like I'm putting in a good fight there for at least like 30 of them.
I think if I'm fighting a or a horse-sized duck,
punch
think-
in the jugular.
I think the move is get on its back and try to choke it out.
A duck?
A
How are you
duck.
gonna flip this thing?
I'm not saying flip it. I'm saying get on its back and choke it out from.
Oh, you get on its back.
Backside,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were saying flip it on its back. I was like,
No.
good God, Tyler, what are you gonna do to this?
No. Also, you got to think a horse-sized duck is going to be much lighter than a actual horse.
That's true. I don't know. That's still going to be heavy.
I still think.
I mean, it's going to be maybe a
really
couple
heavy.
100 pounds.
Can you flip like a Honda Accord?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. You get that adrenaline starts spiking, you can move a house, right? I don't know.
I think
I don't think a duck-sized horse or a horse-sized duck would be the weight of a Honda Accord.
it'd probably be 300-400 pounds.
Yeah, I think it's about that's about
That's
what
not a
I-
Honda Accord.
No.
Honda Accord's like 2,000 pounds, dude.
Nonetheless.
Still,
That's like 75% less weight.
still, that's
I've
a
seen you
lot of
lift
weight.
weights. 300 to 400 pounds is not going to be good easy
No,
for you.
I'm not saying it's good for me. I'm just saying it's not a car.
I just know for sure that I can pick up one horse-sized duck.
I
No
think-
shit.
Or a
Anybody
duck-sized
can.
horse.
But you have 100 of them.
Yeah,
But I think
again,
in terms of like what is my best chance to win, I think I got to go with the tiny guys.
yeah, I think I
I-
got a better shot at
Listen,
that.
I can see the logic on both sides.
Yeah.
I really want to see you fight a giant duck.
I
though.
want to fight a giant duck.
That'd be really cool. If
We
that
need
was
to
a
get
thing.
Mythbusters on this.
Hell yeah.
They still exist. They don't. But
No.
Make us one giant
just
duck.
one giant duck.
Do it, Mythbusters.
And you get to what's his name? The redheaded guy. What was his name?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Jamie, yeah.
Yeah, he gets to be inside controlling it. He would love that. All right, let's do a little more deep /
Ooh.
thought-provoking.
All right.
Would you rather always know the truth even when it's hard to hear, or live with blissful ignorance?
Oh, blissful ignorance.
No.
Every time.
No, know the truth.
You want to always know the truth?
I want to always know the truth. I don't like bullshit.
Dumb people are so happy,
They
man.
really are.
That is fair. That is fair.
I mean, people that just don't know what's going on. I'm just like, man, I'm jealous. That seems nice.
See, I don't think I could. The way I'm wired right now, I don't think I can.
Well, we're
do-
changing your wiring. This
Yeah.
is changing your
Okay.
wiring.
You've
Okay.
never been introduced to logical thought. You're just whatever anyone tells you.
You just go about,
with it.
here's
Yeah.
a beer, here's my food.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's hard because you got to take yourself out of your current body. I mean, yeah, I think it'd be easier and more enjoyable to just go through life not knowing jack shit.
Yeah, I
But
think so. You don't
I
have an
think
answer
sit-
for anything.
But sitting here right now with how I think, I'd much rather
I
know
don't
truth.
know. All the truth, everything you know, I don't know. That's
Oh, it'd be pretty depressing, I think.
I think you're.
Yeah, man.
I think it'd be like demons fighting inside. You hear about these exceptional people who are like the Einsteins of the world.
Yeah.
They're obviously geniuses, but there's a lot
Dude.
going on. They can't control what's going on in
Most
their
of
head.
them had substance abuse.
Yeah, so if you
like,
knew
really
all the truth-
depressed.
You'd be doing psychedelics just to
Yeah,
try to
dude.
calm your brain down.
Meanwhile, if you're dumb, the solution is PBR. Like, that's it, dude.
I can see it. I'm still sticking to my answer, though.
Sticking to truth.
Yeah,
what
I'm
are you
sticking
going
to
with?
truth.
Dumb, man.
You're
How
going dumb?
ignorance is bliss.
See, I mean, the scientist in me always wants to know the answer to everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
But if I'm taking my current status out of it, I think it would be easier to live in ignorant bliss.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
100%.
think it would be easier. I think life would you just go through life doing your thing.
Yeah.
And that's not to say you can't be you're not like dumb. You can still be successful, have a job, have a family.
To a certain degree.
Yeah, obviously
Yeah.
there are caveats to that. You're not going to marry the prom queen, or probably
Yeah, you might.
unless she's the ignorant blissful too.
She could.
I think it's a
Prom queen doesn't
more.
mean smart.
I think it's an easier
Sure.
life. I think it's definitely a less exciting life.
Yeah, but you
Just
don't
kinda-
know.
Just kind of existing.
I agree with you, but you don't know.
Yeah,
You
that's
just,
that's true. That's true.
Like, your life is the best it can be.
Yeah. All right. All right. Next
Yeah.
one.
All right.
Would you rather never be able to use a smartphone again, or
That one.
never be able to watch TV again.
Ooh.
Smartphone can go down the toilet. I'm good.
And
I spent a lot of years with
just
that
making
one.
the caveat that you can't watch shows on your phone if you keep
naturally.
the phone.
Okay, so I got to get rid of my smartphone or never watch TV again. I'm not that big of a TV guy, so I'd probably take TV. I probably use my cell phone a lot more.
So you'd get rid of TV, keep your cell phone.
Yeah, the cell phone's pretty utilitarian in my life, so I think it's a tool that I use a lot. So whereas TV is more of just entertainment.
Yeah, that's fair.
I spent most of my life without a smartphone. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, the first 18 years of my life, I did just fine.
Yeah, I didn't have a smartphone until I graduated college.
That was high school.
Yeah.
I hate the whole cell phone, how it's
So
glued to us.
Yeah, and I think from that aspect of it, I would love to be less glued to it. So if you give me the option, throw away my phone. I can live. People did for many, many, many years without phones.
Hundreds, thousands.
I still have internet. I still have my computer, but I just don't have a smartphone. I think that would honestly take a lot of stress out of our lives.
Hell yeah,
it
would.
Yeah, man.
Because we're not constantly connected to everything. And this kind of goes back to some things I've talked about before. Delete your work email off your phone, things like that.
Yeah, 100%. Turn notifications off.
Make your phone non-utilitarian. Like you said, you use it for utilitarian purposes, and most people do.
Yeah.
But if you make your phone just essentially the same thing as a TV when you're watching TV, with access to the internet, I think it maybe in that case you could get away from the negatives of it.
Sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think I'd probably get rid of my phone. Bad choice.
No phone.
All right. Would you rather live in a world without music or a world without movies?
Ooh.
A world without movies.
Yeah, you'd rather have music?
No question. Music is part of like my everyday life. I love a good movie. Music is like cathartic and just like part of my daily commute.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine doing that in silence every day. Like I can't put a movie on in the background while I'm driving my car.
I agree with Alex. I'm taking music over movies.
Yeah, I think I'm with both of you as well. I mean, when I'm sitting at my desk working, I turn on music. I've never thought about turning on a movie while I'm sitting there working.
No.
And I think just the emotional aspect of music. I mean, it can run so many different. You can run the gamut of emotions with music.
Exactly.
I mean, you can with movies too, but it's harder.
Well, I mean, look at just like their history. Go back thousands of years. I mean, we had music as soon as we could figure out how to make instruments. We were making music. That was how we told stories. That was town criers. Blah blah blah. But
then I turn on my Spotify. I can have a rap song, and then I can have a folk song, and then I can have a classical song. I can have it all within a matter of 14 minutes.
Yep.
So I think you're better served if you keep music over movies.
I agree with that.
I do love a good movie.
Music enhances other aspects of your life too. I mean, if you're at a party and you have a banging playlist like that just brings everyone's energy up. You're kind of controlling the environment.
Yeah, you're trying to get freaky. You turn on some Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. Lil Jon. Throw some Lil Jon on. Everybody's gonna start shaking their ass. Like it's good. Yeah.
No, you're right. All right, good one. All right. Would you rather win the lottery but have to give half away, or never win the lottery but always live comfortably? So you're still comfortable.
I guess the question is, how much is the lottery winning?
All right, let's put a number on it. Let's say 100 million is the jackpot. You're going to get about 60 of that after taxes. You have to give away 30.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
And I get to keep 30?
You get to keep 30.
I could live very comfortably.
So say the question again then.
So would you rather win the lottery but have to give half away, or never win the lottery but always live comfortably?
Win the lottery and have to give half away, especially at $30 million.
Oh yeah, man.
I think I'm financially responsible enough to
make that sustain yourself
not fuck that up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I
think
could
so.
live well with $30 million. I think for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you just put that in investments and
Fuck
you're good to go.
Oh, yeah, man, I'm chilling.
All right, fair.
Hold on, let's do some math.
I like math.
Hang on, let me call my accountant real quick.
$30 million. That's $3 million. $30 million times, let's just say you put it in a...
Let's say you get a basic 7%.
I wasn't even going to go that far. I say, let's put it in a money market.
Oh,
no
4.5%.
4.5%, no risk, 0.045? 4.5%? 0.045? You're pulling 1.3 million, almost 1.4 million on interest at no risk. Fuck yeah, I'm taking that, and I'm just chilling with it.
I'm done. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
done.
All right.
That's my life.
All right.
Cruising.
All right, this one's for Amos. Would you rather, and Millie,
Okay.
would you rather have a pet dinosaur
Yes, that one.
or a pet dragon?
Oh, dragon.
Oh.
Dragon. Millie would take a dragon, I think.
Yeah. Amos would take it. Oh, he loves both, though.
That's a hard one.
Dragons can fly.
The fire is cool.
Like the dragon is
how
like
big's
a
the
dinosaur
dragon?
plus.
I mean, it's your standard like Lord of the Rings sized dragon. I
So-
know you haven't seen
Smaug
that.
is massive.
So a
He is.
full-blown dragon.
Full-blown dragon.
Like the size of your house.
Yeah, you can't keep him in the basement.
Smaug's bigger than that. Like he's the size of an entire fucking mountain. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought if it was a mini dragon, that'd be badass. I don't want a full-size dragon,
I
though.
do, man. You kidding me? I like.
He's your friend. He's friendly. He's not like
all
you.
of a
You
sudden-
are his.
You know what? You could fly your dragon to work and shit. I'm going to go dragon.
Yeah, man.
I'm going dragon. That's cool.
Is there
like
any? Is there any dinosaur that might make you change your mind?
No.
I'm assuming they're they're not going to kill me.
Yeah, they're your friend. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are not at odds.
Man, I think the T-Rex from Jurassic Park would be pretty badass.
It would be any
That'd be cool.
T-Rex.
Stegosaurus would be pretty badass.
I
You
just feel like it'd be
flip cars
cool,
over.
but you can do all the same things with the dragon, but better.
But better. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's kinda how I feel
The
about
whole I get to fly
I
with the
mean,
dragon.
I
is
feel
it-
like a dragon is just dinosaur.
You're
premium.
right. It's just a dinosaur with wings.
Yeah, man.
Fire breathing
They,
dinosaur.
like they
with
got
wings.
4 legs.
The fire's cool.
Hey, hang
the
on.
flying's
Is
cool.
it like we're talking like a dragon, like a wyvern, where like their hands are their wings?
Yeah, I think so.
That one?
No.
I
What
think
are you talking about?
There's 2 different kinds. Look up a wyvern. And
Yeah,
they,
so
they
you-
had-
you-
How do you spell that?
You're talking about one like that has
WYVERN.
separate wings from hands and
so
or
dragons to have wings separate from their hands.
correct.
Wyverns have wings are their
That
hands.
are their hands.
Yeah.
Does that make it? Does that change your answer?
No.
Then what the hell are we talking about?
I was going to say. I mean,
No, that's wrong. I don't like the whole
hands
wings.
being stuck to wings.
No, because this is like a dog with wings kind of a thing.
What? Really?
You got the wings, but then you got 4 legs.
That's what I'm thinking.
No. When
You
I
don't
think
like
of a
that?
dragon, I think of you got the back legs, but the wing. It's
It's
like
still
a-
pretty awesome.
it's like a
though.
bird.
Yeah, I'd take either one.
That doesn't change my answer though.
Keep the
they're
same
still
answer?
Awesome.
Yeah, dragon,
They're
for
huge,
sure.
fly, breathe fire. Like, yeah, man.
Amos might get mad at
You
me.
can do
but
you
I'm
can
a-
do some conquest with them.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Lots of
Yeah.
side quests.
D&D.
Yeah,
You got some
I
Dungeons
mean,
and
come
Dragons
on.
going on
Yeah,
there.
hell
You
yeah.
are going to be the best D&D player ever.
That's what we need to do. Is we need to broadcast a D&D session. That'd be fun.
I tried it once. Are you into that shit?
I'm into it if the people I'm playing with are into just having fun with it. Like if you're so caught up on the rules, it's not fun.
Okay, so I tried it with some of my friends once, and it just seemed like way too much. But I'm willing to try it again because I think it's something I could get into.
Well, you're older. You're more developed. I mean, it's a hard game when you're
If
young.
you
I
get a
played it when I
dungeon
was
master
young.
that'll let you do whatever you want,
See,
it's
I'm
a lot
not-
of fun.
I'm not into if you're gonna be there and be like, well, it's not the rule.
Here, let me contact the rule book here.
Yeah,
No, that's
it's
not
like-
fun.
no,
And-
I
and,
wanna-
like no offense to people that play that way. Like, hey, man,
I want to
do
get
whatever makes you
drunk
happy,
and fuck
but-
around. Like,
Yeah, no, that's what like the times I've done it, it's been like that.
All right, we're
all
making
right,
it happen.
let's try to make
We've
it
done
happen.
like Western D&Ds and stuff.
You got all the
can do
setup and
whatever.
everything.
I never was the dungeon.
I bet you
master.
these days
Oh.
we could find
we
an
could probably figure
online
it out, though.
version.
We
There's an
could-
online version.
Yeah,
of
there
it we
is.
could
Yeah,
find.
oh, you
Alright.
can find a good like.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember back in the day there were books, like legit
Yeah,
like
they were like-
stacks of books.
Yeah.
So I bought one of my buddies like the starter kit for it, and he made a whole campaign, and it was hilarious.
All right, and this
We
is
can
gonna-
do it.
It was fun.
All right, preface this by I love you, Caleb. But Caleb, is he a D&D guy?
Oh, D&D. Caleb will do D&D.
I was gonna say
He seems like he'd be a dungeon master.
I think he could be a good
He's
one.
not a dungeon master. My buddy Justin, if I can get rid of him,
All right.
come in town.
Well, let's
we
make it
need
happen.
experience. We
Yeah.
need someone to run it, but
Yeah, we're gonna be here.
You need
but,
somebody that's pretty creative and is willing to just sit behind the wheel there and
Yeah.
let you
Yeah.
guys do whatever you want.
all right,
Yeah.
let's try to make that happen.
All
That'd
right.
be fun.
all right. Side quest with our
Side
dragons.
quest.
With
With
our
our
dragons.
dragons. Huzzah.
All right. This one's going to. I'm gonna ask this one in an appropriate way.
Okay.
Would you rather only be able to whisper or shout all the time?
Oh, I would much rather be able to whisper. Living in a house with a 6-year-old, we shout all the time anyway because she doesn't know how to be quiet. So
I don't know.
whisper
I like to
pretty
shout
cool.
a lot, so I think I'll take shouting.
I don't know. Shouting to me just kind of gets me on edge. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always on edge though.
that's
Dude,
true.
could you imagine like a real serious conversation? With, so we just think that you need to stop being such an
But then, all right, say that same thing shouting now.
I'm about to piss my pants. Continue. I'll be right back.
Oh,
All right.
like you stop being such an asshole. Like,
Ooh,
see that?
that one
that
sounds
stings.
more aggressive.
It does, yeah. But like, if you just whisper it to each other, like,
Hey, you really need to stop being an asshole.
yeah, it feels like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yeah. Meanwhile, like if somebody yells
This
that
is
at me,
kind
I'm
of
ready
like
to fight
parenting.
back.
This is like parenting.
This is exactly parenting 101. Like this is why
Yeah.
yelling is not an effective form of communication.
No, it's not because they just want to yell back.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
somebody yells at me, you're just like, all right,
Like,
bitch,
fine,
let's square
let's
up.
go.
Let's
Yeah, we're
square
fighting
up.
now. Yeah.
Whereas if you're like, hey, Amos, you really need to think about why you did that. You're being a bit of an asshole right now.
Yeah.
And then, he might look at you, maybe a tear in his eye, but he's going to come to some sort of realization that, you know what? Whereas if I yell,
just turns into a shouting match.
yeah, and then you traumatize them, and I mean the research is there to show that it's not particularly good parenting. So, I guess based on the fact that I have a 6.5-year-old who I have to parent for the next 12-ish years,
Yep.
I got to whisper.
Yeah, at least 12.
At least 12, yeah. No, I've told him, it's like, listen, you're 18, you got 2 options. You're going to college, you're starting a trade, or you're going to the military.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what my mom told me growing up. And it worked out well with all of us, so we all left the house.
Those are good
18.
options.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, he's going to be much better set up than I was. I've already got a college fund for him, so he's going to be just fine.
Nice.
So, I mean... Yeah. All right. Let's, you coming back, Tyler? He's still peeing.
No, I think I see him. He's running down the stairs right now. We're good.
Oh, that's right. He had to go upstairs. I forgot.
Yeah.
My bathroom downstairs is not fully functioning.
Oh, whoops.
I know. All right, let's see. Let's do. Give me a number between 1 and 5.
6.
That's not what I said.
3.
Oh,
All right,
sorry. 1 and 5.
We're doing 3 more would you rathers then. All right. Would you rather be famous for something you didn't do or live an anonymous life doing amazing things?
Live an anonymous life doing amazing things.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
I think it'd be too hard for me to lie constantly. Be like, yeah, I was the guy that cured cancer.
I did this.
I can't show you how I did it.
What if it comes with some pretty significant payout?
I'm sure it would. I just feel like I would not be able to live with myself for
I mean, like the Kardashians. They are famous for abso-fucking-lutely no reason.
Well, one of
their
them
dad,
did something.
Their dad defended OJ back in the day.
No,
that's
it
what
has
started
nothing to do with their dad.
it all.
It has everything to do with Kim having sex on camera.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Nobody would care about the Kardashians.
I don't know. For me, it's about the authenticity. I hate people who aren't authentic, and if I'm just fucking riding somebody else's coattails and, getting high fives and taking all the credit, fuck
but
that.
you're rich.
That's like every billionaire
What's that?
ever.
You're rich now.
Yeah.
Or you're either just a good person now, making the current salary that you have now, or you're rich and people think you did this amazing thing.
That doesn't do anything for me. I mean, yeah, the rich is cool, but I'd rather just continue
Be
living
who
my
you
life.
are.
Live
Yeah.
my truth. And I think that part of like doing amazing things anonymously, I think that'd be really cool too. Just like some own self-satisfaction and be rich in the soul.
Now we're getting back to religion here.
I like the rich financially part too, though.
I mean, money is pretty
Money
great.
is nice. It allows you to be more rich in the soul.
Try
doesn't
being
it?
sad on a jet ski.
Rich in the soul doesn't pay my mortgage.
That's true.
That's fair. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think of a fun one here. All right. Would you rather have an unlimited supply of your favorite food but never be able to eat anything else, or be able to eat anything but never have your favorite food again? All right, first of all, what's your favorite food? Pick one thing. So you gotta distinguish this first.
That's such a general question.
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings are great.
That's probably, if I had to pick a favorite food.
I mean, I don't think I don't think you can go wrong with a good porterhouse.
Oh, good ribeye too. Yeah.
Or a ribeye. That's what I want.
I love bacon a lot.
Bacon's pretty
really
good.
Bacon.
It's the
Don't
inferior
shut the
breakfast
fuck
meat.
up about that. So sick of that argument.
We had this debate camping last week.
We did.
I still argue that sausage is superior meat. All right, so what's your answer then? Would you rather have?
No, variety is a spice of life.
Yeah, I think even if it's my favorite food, if I have to eat it constantly, I'm going to hate it eventually.
You never get
'cause I'm gonna
bacon
be like,
again.
Great, another day of bacon.
You
Like,
never
I
get
would
bacon,
really
and you
sad
never
about
get
that.
another ribeye.
That's
Be okay
fine
with that.
because your favorite food is your top food, but I don't think the margin between your top food and your second, third, fourth, and fifth favorite
that
food is
far?
that far off.
You're
agree
right.
with that,
You're right. Chicken
yeah.
wings are probably number one for me. A good pizza, close second or
Okay,
third.
exactly.
That'd be
A
good.
great steak is obviously a top.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You go nuts eating the same thing.
Chicken wings all the
Oh,
time.
yeah, 100%.
And not to mention nutritional deficiencies.
Yeah.
I won't give you a
We're
nutritional
not
lecture
getting
today,
into
but
that. Yeah, no, we're
yeah,
just going to pretend you get all the nutrition you need from bacon.
oh, so you're making a superior bacon.
Yeah.
So this bacon gives you
It's just
all.
only the bacon at my house that goes into my belly is superior.
Does that change your answer? If you have a superior bacon and you
No,
meet
I
all
mean,
nutritional needs?
No, I still
You're not going to eat bacon the rest of your life. That
It
would
would get old really fast.
So
Honestly,
salty.
After a week, I would be like, I don't want bacon anymore. I want something else.
All right. Fair. All right,
What
final.
are you picking?
I think I'm going to go with the variety as well.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, I mean, I love chicken wings, but I could eat chicken in other forms, I guess.
Yeah.
If
Even if you couldn't have chicken anymore, I still think it'd be a better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, a good steak, good pork chop. It's any of that's good. Yeah, sausage is the best meat. Last question. Last question. We're going to our hot takes.
Okay.
Let's see. Would you rather have the ability to read minds, but only in awkward situations, or always know what's going to happen, but never be able to prevent it?
Oh, read minds.
I'll say it again for you, Tyler. Your face is perplexed over there.
I'm thinking real hard.
Would you rather have the ability to read minds, but it's only in awkward situations, or always know what's going to happen, but you cannot prevent it?
Always know what's going to happen.
But you can't prevent it.
Yep.
So you're going to get in a car accident. You know that, hey, driving home today, you're getting in a car accident, but you can't stop it. You know what's happening.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right.
Well, hang
That's
on.
just a specific example.
It is, but I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand it.
Let's say you know who's going to win the next World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was going with it.
So you have that.
Yeah.
You get that part.
Yep.
All right, then I'm a millionaire. I'm taking
Yep.
that one.
That's
Yeah.
exactly where my
I'm
mind
never
went.
losing a bet ever
Nope.
again
That's
in my
true.
life.
That's fair.
That's the exactly.
Yeah. If I say as long as you're okay with gambling, that's the way to go.
But awkward, yeah.
It's
I mean,
not gambling if you know the outcome.
and at the end of the day, what's the benefit of reading minds in just awkward situations?
Nothing really.
Only awkward situations.
I mean, maybe
can't,
maybe you know which button to press when you're having a good time with your wife. That could
Are you
potentially
talking
be an
about when
awkward-
it's awkward situation when
mean,
you're
it could
trying to
be-
make love to your wife?
It could be.
only
Don't
awkward
lie.
situations.
It
I thought it
happens.
was just like you knew it was going to happen. Like you could read minds.
No,
Like
it's
that.
awkward
No.
situations.
Only. Oh, that's useless.
Yeah, that's
no,
what I
I'm
thought.
taking that. I want to know
Yeah.
everything.
All right, what if we eliminate the awkward situations? You can always read minds.
I think you could still find a lot of success with that. But
could.
if you know what's going to happen before it happens, how far ahead do we know it's going to happen before it happens? I think that's I need to know that.
Let's
Like,
say
so-
let's say you got a 24-hour window.
Easy
No,
enough.
yeah, no, I'm still taking. I'm taking that because I could
Both.
Hey, I can run a parlay that's about to set me up for the rest of my life.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Football starts in an hour.
I think taking out the awkward situation makes it more interesting, but I think you have more utilitarian value with knowing what things are going to happen than to just read people's minds. I think it'd be interesting with in regards to intent and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think it's more utilitarian.
Also, wouldn't it'd be kind of cool though. You get to the last day, you're like, all right, today's the day I die. I'm gonna do all the cool shit I've ever wanted to do in the next 24 hours.
How would you know that?
Well, you already know you're gonna die.
yeah,
You
okay.
know you're
yeah.
gonna die. You got 24
Oh
hours.
yeah,
to
you
go.
got
You're
24
like-
hours to ball out of control.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck yeah.
Like that. There's kind of even like this is the end of the line. Like,
All right, offshoot
cool.
to that. Would you want to know when you're going to die?
We had this question before.
We have, but would you? Would you?
You know, honestly,
I would like to
mind.
know
I wouldn't mind.
if it was just like you're gonna die.
Obviously, you can't control it. I'm not
No,
saying
no,
you have
no.
any.
But if they're if there's a button that says you push this and it tells you your date of death.
Isn't there a Justin Timberlake movie that's exactly about that?
I don't know. I don't watch movies, but
Sure.
There's a whole movie. I swear to God, it's got Justin Timberlake in it. Everyone has a time on their wrist, and they know exactly how many hours they have left in their life.
that's
And
wild.
You can buy more hours,
Oh,
so
no
the elite
shit.
can live longer.
Oh shit,
That's
that's crazy.
That's very
Pretty cool.
accurate,
I'll
though.
have to look up what the movie's called.
That's not
it's pretty- but yeah,
100%
it starred
false.
Justin Timberlake.
That's pretty accurate though, because the elite do live longer.
Yeah, well,
They have more money to pay for better health care, better food.
Yeah.
I mean, so all
It
right.
was like Justin Timberlake and maybe like Megan Fox or Mila Kunis or something like that. I can't remember. You looking it up?
In time.
Yeah, that's it.
I've not heard of that one.
Who is that chick?
I swear I thought it was like Megan Fox or something. Maybe
Justin
it's not.
Timberlake. Well,
It's
know.
actually a pretty decent movie.
I want to know.
I'm not gonna say here and tell
No,
you it's,
is
like,
that that's
amazing,
is that
but
Emma
it's decent.
Stone?
Is it?
It kind of looks like her in
Could
that
be.
picture. Read. Hold on.
I mean, it's like an action flick, but it's pretty solid.
All right. I'm intrigued by the idea.
Yeah, like I think somebody like steals from him or something like that, and so like he runs down to where he's only got like 24 hours left to live.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Olivia
So
Wilde.
then he's trying to get more
Oh,
minutes.
Olivia Wilde. You know, Olivia Wilde kind of has that same look.
Yeah, they do look similar to
Yeah.
Megan. Back in the day, her and Megan Fox were
Yeah,
before
I
Megan
agree.
Fox went a little weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, so is that your final answer? You would want to know when you're going to die?
Yeah, I would. I think so. I think it'd be all right.
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I like the idea
It's
of
tough
knowing.
if you hit the button and it's a week later.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they're like 30 years from
But it
now, you're
doesn't
gonna
change
die
anything.
peacefully in
No.
bed.
But if you hit the button and you're like, you're gonna live to 95, you're like, all right, that's a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you do anything differently? Let's just say you hit the button and you know that you're what, 32 now?
Yep.
You know you're going to get to let's just say you're going to die young. You're going to get to 45. You got 13 years. Would you change anything about your life now? You got 13 years ish?
Do you
take some more risks?
Do you get to know? Like your significant other and their timeline too?
No.
You just know yours.
You only
Just
know yours.
yours.
And you cannot vocalize that to anybody else. It's only in your head. You know exactly when it's going to be. Nobody else knows it.
Wow. Would I change anything, or would I act differently?
Yeah. Do anything differently with your life?
I think you would. You would kind of have to. I think.
I think so. I mean, I think about even 13 years sounds like a long time, but it's going to go by fast.
It would go by really quick, especially
I think
with like Amos. Or,
Yeah.
I think you get a lot more humble. Real fucking quick.
Yeah.
I think you start.
I'd probably worry less about working. I mean, I know at this point in my life, I'm like, let's work so I can retire.
You probably
save
can't
money.
quit your job, but
Can't quit because 13 years is still a long time.
Sure.
no, but I think you humble yourself real damn quick, and you start thinking in terms of experiences instead of chasing that dollar or chasing that next best thing. That kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, last offshoot question, then we'll get to our hot takes.
Okay.
Knowing that let's put a timeline on it. You've got 10 years left to live. What's the one experience that you want to make sure happens within that 10 years, outside of family and friends?
2 chicks at the same
I
time.
was about to say that.
Does anyone get the movie reference?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was Office Space, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's
Yeah,
Office
yeah,
Space. He's like, that's what you're gonna do? Yeah, man. Someone like me, $1 million. I think I can make that.
They can make 2 chicks at the same time.
All right, that's fair.
No, serious answer. Sorry, what was the question?
You've got 10 years left. What is the one experience you want to make sure happens before that time is up?
Oh God. Man,
I'm going to Japan. That's not,
I was gonna say
on my list.
Travel.
travel.
Yeah.
Travel for sure.
I'm going to like my number one destination.
Japan's your number one?
Japan's my number one.
It's probably top 3 for me. We've been talking about it lately.
Yeah.
Where in Japan?
Well, I mean, we'll see the whole thing. Really want to see like Kyoto.
Yeah,
and,
Kyoto's beautiful.
Just see the cherry blossoms. Like, that'd be really cool.
I'd like to experience some like cool shit with like cars and stuff like that too. I
Like
think.
race car
Yeah,
that type of thing?
like you can buy those track days with where you
Yeah.
drive
Oh, that'd be
supercars
cool.
and shit.
Yeah.
Or I've always wanted to take a quarter-mile run in one of the top fuel dragsters that
Okay.
do like 330.
Okay,
Can we
there's
just
a
like
bird.
go to Las Vegas and make that happen?
You can
now?
do that.
Oh, you can go to Las Vegas and rent tanks and shit.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even think it's like that. Crazy.
Blow some shit up.
I mean, the tanks are expensive, but I mean, we can
There's a
probably go
guy I know. He went to Bristol. I think they do that driving car experience where you get to rent one of their supercars. It's like an
Yeah.
hour. You get to drive around the track.
Yeah.
There you go, Kate.
Shit
That's
like
a
that.
Christmas present for Tyler.
To, yeah.
But yeah, shooting a lot of guns, blowing shit up with tanks, like just fun shit that like you'd like just cool shit. You'd be like, hey, I want to get 10 of my buddies. We want to go out and do this and just be carefree.
I think it makes that like list of things you're like, we'll do that someday. Like you're just like, no, we need to do it right now.
Yeah, we're
It's
doing
like,
it.
I
We're
got
doing it
10
right
years.
Yeah.
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 And 10 years is going to go by real fast.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to blow shit up and drive a race car.
That'd be fun.
You want to go to Kyoto, Japan.
Yeah.
That's probably up there for me too. 2 girls would be fun for sure. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do with my hands, but it's like, wait, where do my hands go?
This is a lot better in my head than in real life.
Why are you staring at me?
I got 25 seconds dedicated to each of you.
Half that, but yes. I don't know. That's a good question. Thanks for saying that one, Cam. I don't know. All right, this is just kind of a random thing I just saw staring at my wall there. I want to do one of those. Have you ever seen those days where people can hit an NHL, NBA, MLB game, NFL all in one day? It very rarely happens.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But like,
it's like a sweet spot of time when you can do that.
It very rarely happens, but like where you can at least see like 3 sporting events in one day.
That would be pretty sick.
That'd be pretty cool.
You'd
just
be
for
so
fun.
drunk.
I'd be hammered.
Yeah. You get to the final game, it's like, who's playing?
Yeah, it's going to be probably an NHL game at night, but yeah, that'll be fun.
That'd be cool.
All right, let's finish up with our hot takes.
Hot takes.
That's so hot.
Anybody? I can start us. I can end us. What do you want to do?
I don't have a great one, but I'll go first.
All right.
Okay.
Pick a new hobby.
Ooh, all right.
I'm not sure if I use that one or not yet, but I'm going to go with it today.
That's fair. Do you have something in mind for yourself?
No, not in general. Not specifically. I got too many damn hobbies. I need to get rid of some. But no, pick a new hobby and stick with it and get better at it.
At least try it. Yeah.
You're going to suck at it in the beginning, but
Like
you'll
our
get better.
podcast. Don't listen to episode 1.
Yeah. Well, I mean, never mind. All right, what do you got, Alex?
Started to. No, let's stay with that for a second.
Okay.
If you could pick a new hobby, what's it going to be? I want to know. What's your new hobby?
I would like to get very good at welding fabrication in regards to like cars. I'd like to get better at, engines. I'd really like to build my own badass car in my garage.
That'd be pretty cool.
You got disposable income. Why can't you make this happen?
No, I could. It's the time.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's fair. But
Those
something
projects-
like that doesn't have to. That's your problem, and that's my problem too. Is we want things fast.
Yes.
No, yeah.
You gotta understand when you start that hobby, this is going to be a 4 or 5 year process. You see
Yeah.
those people who built cars in their garages, and it's never been I built this car in my garage in 3 months.
No,
It's-
unless
it's
you're a
6
millionaire
years.
and that's your whole job is
Exactly.
just rebuilding a car. Yeah.
So there's no reason you can't do that. You just gotta.
Plus, you're gonna
take some time.
You're going to make mistakes. You're going to blow some shit up. You're going to have to restart,
Yep. Okay.
All right. What's yours? What would be your hobby of choice?
I think blacksmithing would be really cool.
Blacksmithing would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be sick? Like,
think
if
my
I just come
dad-
in and like, hey, I made this sword out of nothing.
I think my dad just has, just bought a forge.
He did.
Did he
Well,
really?
I know
That's
he bought the
awesome.
forge. I remember he bought the anvil last year, right before your wedding.
He's like, I got too good at woodworking. I've already mastered this. I need to go to a new
Get into
material.
ironworks. Like,
can't
that's
even-
freaking sick.
I can't even saw a goddamn straight line.
Could
This
you
man's
imagine?
too
I
good
could
at
make a
woodwork.
whole suit of armor and like a big sword. Like I'm taking my dragon and I'm going on a conquest.
Yes, full circle.
That's badass.
All right, hobby for me. I would love to play an instrument, and
That's a
actually be
good one.
good at it.
I'd like to be a
that'd
really
be
good
really
guitar
cool.
And
player.
I mean, there's no reason I can't try and learn. It kind of comes back to what you said. It's just time.
I've seen your timing and cowbell
That's
skills.
it's going to take a lot of effort. I do not have any.
I'm not going to say you're a lost cause, but you're pushing on that door.
It's going to be tough. I don't have the inherent innate ability to be musically inclined. So yes, it would be very tough for me. But I think that would be cool. Painting would be cool.
Yeah.
Just the idea of painting. I like,
Artistry would be cool.
any sort of art.
Okay.
Any graffiti art, I really do enjoy, and I think getting good at that would be fun.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's your hot take, Alex?
I don't know. I don't really have anything that thought provoking. That was a really good one.
I just pulled it out of my ass.
No, that was great. I don't know. I watched a lot of college football yesterday. My hot take
Tennessee's
is
not that good.
I was just gonna say the SEC is not as good this year
Nah,
as they've been
listen,
years
this
past.
man's a Big Ten. He's got Big Ten all over his balls.
Man,
But
I was
State's
just
pretty
talking.
awesome.
I was talking to Cam about this before, and last week all the Big Ten people were like, "The SEC ain't shit."
I'm not saying it ain't shit. I'm just saying
the problem is
it's
we're
overinflated.
Beating up on each other this year, more
Oh,
so
that's
than
the
usual.
excuse all the time. I saw somebody.
I think
today.
it's
So,
true.
Here's what I got heated about it this morning. And to myself, like nobody's arguing with me, but like I'm reading on TikTok, and there's like a guy's like, I think Vanderbilt could be any team in any other conference.
Well, I
Like, they could win the
disagree
Big
with
Ten.
that.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I do too.
I'm like, yeah, except for Georgia Southern, like you know,
Yeah.
like they could beat any team but them. Like I don't know. That's my
No,
that was my thing.
I
was like,
disagree with that.
I was like, there's top teams. Like I think the
Of
SEC
course.
top and the Big Ten top. Like they
You
could
think they're
all.
on the same level? You think
Yeah.
you put your Bamas, your Georgias? You think they're on the same level as the Oregons and the Ohio States, the Big
Yeah.
Ten?
Yeah, I do.
I don't agree.
I guess we'll
Why?
find out in about a month.
The Big Ten won last year.
But outside of
So
that,
what?
I mean,
Ohio State won.
Even a blind
the
squirrel
first
finds
one.
a nut every now and then.
No, it's
No, they're not.
This,
I'm not saying they're not top tier colleges, but I'm saying that the SEC has the most concentrated top level teams in
do
their
they
conference.
really, or is it just because of their deal with ESPN and that's what gets put in your face all the time?
well,
No,
let's just, I mean,
I
let's look at
think they-
championships. Let's look at that. I mean, ultimately, what you
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
look at
look at their bowl records.
You want to see some data? No,
Yeah,
fuck the bowls. Those are
Bowl games.
participation
I'm just saying.
trophies.
I'm just
yeah.
saying. Well, yeah, but like if the championship is two SEC teams, the two at-large conferences, like the SEC has a greater chance of winning it. Like,
College
that's just
football
a-
championship. I'm talking about national championships.
I'm talking about national
okay,
championships. too.
perfect.
All right, so you're gonna shit
Georgia,
your bed.
Georgia,
Nope, wait,
Alabama.
Well,
All
hang
right.
on.
Wait right here. So, here are some NCAA conferences with the
I
most
didn't know I was going to hit a
championships.
nerve.
You did.
Oh, you're good.
All right, which conference do you think has the most championships overall?
National
Yep,
championships.
national. And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, you
It's
win.
not the SEC.
You win the big thing.
I would
That's-
say SEC, but it's probably incorrect.
It's not.
What you got?
It's the Big Ten.
It is Big Ten. I would not have guessed that. So Big Ten has 31, SEC has 27, so it's close. It's just the recency bias. I mean, in the last 25 years, it's hard to argue. SEC has been top tier.
Look, okay. Yeah. Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Clemson, Alabama. Then in 2014, Ohio State squeaks one out.
Florida squeaks one out. We dominated.
Florida State, Alabama, Auburn, Florida, LSU, Florida.
That was the BCS chant. Like that's bullcrap.
Do you think this new 12-team playoff is going to change things?
Yes, I do.
How so?
I think there's going to be
it's
some
gonna
random.
More...
I don't think that a Cinderella is going to win it all, but I think a Cinderella is going to beat a team you don't expect them to beat.
And they might make it to like the Final Four or Final Two.
I mean, look, Vanderbilt beat Alabama this year. Like, I think anything's possible. BYU could get in there and stomp Georgia. Like, who knows?
Look at fucking Oklahoma.
Ashton Genty. I mean, that's Boise State, but BYU just lost last night. Actually.
They did.
Yeah.
Look at Oklahoma
Kansas
coming into the SEC and getting fucking shit rocked.
Yeah, but Oklahoma's not been good in years. Baker Mayfield was the last time they were.
I was going to say, I do think there's some recency bias. You're right. You just read off the championships. The SEC for the last.
But I want to know how
years.
many of those had more than one SEC team in the playoffs.
I think you're splitting hairs.
I'm just saying. I think that inherently the SEC has a better shot of winning it. Just because if you put two SEC teams in,
of course.
I mean, it's a 50% chance an SEC team is going to be the champion.
Also,
hang on, I'm not saying they're bad. Like, okay, I don't want. So
you don't think the SEC is the top tier football in the country?
I think they're overinflated.
Okay,
that's my argument.
Okay, I may give you that, but who do you think is the top division in the country?
I don't think
right now.
One.
You don't think
this year?
I think there's more parity in college football than there's ever been.
I tend to agree. Actually, this year
with the NIL coming into effect, you can buy your way to a top tier.
We've got Indiana.
Okay,
look at Indiana. It's crazy.
Okay,
they were garbage before this year.
Yeah, I can see the argument there. I can.
You get a good coach and you throw out enough money, you can run for a championship.
You could buy a team.
Yeah.
Do you think that evens the playing field, like for the forthcoming future?
Absolutely.
You think it's a lot?
I love it. Even being an Ohio State homer, like I've had one 7-win season my entire life. I've lived a very charmed life as an Ohio State football fan. I don't know suffering.
I'm a Kentucky fan.
I am a Tennessee Titans fan, however, though, and we are.
You know a little suffering.
I know some suffering there.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah. All right. I'll go with that. I'm not going to argue with you because
that got intense real fucking fast.
It did.
The numbers do bear out that historically the Big Ten has the most championships.
Just saying. The recency bias.
I'm a number guy. I'm a number.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, though. You can cut and dice data however you want to spin.
Of course.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, championships is all that matters.
Well, that's why I think there's not a conference that is. I think one, we're just bleeding closer and closer to having two conferences in general. It's just the SEC and the Big Ten. Everybody else can do whatever.
Pile in there,
yeah. Pile into those two, and then we're literally in an NFL situation, NFC and AFC.
The thing is 31 versus 29 championships statistically significant?
27, but
yes, you can say one is clearly more than the other, but is it statistically significant? I don't know.
Well,
I'm
looking forward to a 12-team playoff. I will say that I do agree that has brought it has evened everything.
Absolutely,
there's not going to be any. This committee picks just 3 SEC teams or 2. I mean, so no, I do think this is
also the ranking. I do think the rankings are inherently biased at times as well.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, this week.
They do it for ratings. And
we live in Tennessee. Georgia should not have been number 12. Georgia lost last week. They probably should have dropped like 15, 16, but they knew that, hey, we got a big game coming up with Tennessee.
Ohio State's going to have 3 top 5 games by the end of the year.
I think.
You guys got Indiana next week.
Yeah, so we played Oregon, Penn State was the top 5, and Indiana is the top 5.
Is that at or home or away?
It's in Columbus.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident.
I have Oregon taking the whole thing this year.
I don't.
So. I think Ohio State beats Oregon on a neutral field.
That was such a close game.
That
is a homer pick for him,
game.
but it was a one. I mean, they barely won it.
And honestly, if there wasn't that offensive PI, I think Ohio State.
They don't ask how; they ask how many.
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, hey, we got outcoached in the final seconds of the game. I'm not going to argue with that, but I don't see Oregon winning. They also just had a struggle bus game against Wisconsin last night.
They almost lost that one. Yeah.
They had 1 touchdown and
Wisconsin's
3 field goals.
Not good this year.
They're 4-5.
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess.
I mean, you don't want to play in Wisconsin.
I'm looking forward to the playoffs this year.
No, it'll be good.
I mean, listen, as a Kentucky fan, I have no dog in this fight whatsoever. You guys have dogs in the fight because you're a Vols fan, you're an Ohio State fan.
Yep.
Both teams will likely be in the playoffs unless they shit the bed.
Tennessee deserves it, I think.
I think they're going to be 11 or 12.
See, here's the thing with Tennessee. I want to see Tennessee win. I like their record right now. I guess we lost against
Georgia
yesterday, which was kind of, we knew that was coming. But I think I think Tennessee's record is very much more lucky than
It's
it
better
is.
than it should be.
It's better than it should be.
They should probably have
I
one
think
or
there's
two
some
more
good
losses.
impressive wins on there, though.
They do.
I don't know. The loss against Arkansas was pretty
but
big black
who's
eye.
Georgia's 2 losses?
Bama and Ole Miss last week.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but we beat Bama.
Bama and Ole Miss both top 10 teams.
I don't know how Ole Miss is still top 10.
Bama ain't what it used to be.
No, they're
Georgia,
definitely down.
Georgia ain't as good as they used to be.
No. See,
I
do
said, it's
already
gonna be
proving my
interesting.
point.
No, I do see. No, based on what I'm seeing right now, I do think that a non-SEC team is going to take the national championship.
I think so this
You
year.
heard it here first.
Yep.
Yeah, there's our prediction. Lock it in.
Who are you picking? You're picking Oregon?
I want to go.
That's what you said. You
I
can't
did.
take it back. No
All right,
take backs.
I'll take Oregon. That's fine.
Who are you
All right.
picking right now if you were to pick?
I have to pick Ohio State. It's in my blood.
You're, all right.
I think we're really freaking good.
Fair. You guys are always good.
Didn't they
though.
lose against Michigan?
No.
Not this year.
Oh, okay.
No, the only loss we have is Oregon by 1 point in Oregon.
Man, justify it as much as you want, man.
It's just 1 point. I think we're fine. We'll get a chance to avenge that win, assuming we win out.
I'd say Oregon is probably a lesser team than Ohio State, if I'm being realistic.
I just their whole game against Wisconsin was like, ooh.
Yeah, that
They got exposed pretty
They
hard.
almost lost. That.
But I mean, granted, we had a freaking like nail biting game with Nebraska a couple weeks ago, so anything's possible any given Saturday.
I'm going. So you're going.
I'll go Oregon.
Oregon. You're
I'm
going
going
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State,
I'm
yeah.
going. I'm sticking SEC.
Okay.
I think Texas is gonna.
Texas has
Really?
a shot.
I don't know.
I mean, after they got embarrassed by Georgia,
Yeah.
and so like, here's my argument against Texas. Their best win leading up to putting them into that top spot was Michigan, and Michigan is bad.
Not good this year. Yeah.
They're bad this year.
You know who I want? I want fucking Indiana just to pull the goddamn.
Oh, that'd
thing
be
out of
cool.
their ass,
Look, man,
win everything.
I don't want to lose to Indiana, obviously, but like if that somehow happened, Indiana won it all. That'd be pretty freaking.
That would be
awesome.
pretty cool.
That's a Cinderella
Came from,
story.
I mean, what did they have? 3-4 wins last year or something like that?
Dude, they've been bad
Forever.
historically. I can't even tell you
Forever.
the last time they were ranked, and the fact that they're top 5. And Tom Signetti, if you watched any of his like pressers and stuff,
No.
you would love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man, how you not? Like he's and they're talking to him as a coach, and they're like, "What do you know? How do you get players to come play for you?" He said, "I just tell them to Google me. I win." I was like, "Damn,
I like that
that's
confidence.
awesome."
I like that's savage.
I like that confidence.
Yeah,
All right,
Signetti's awesome.
Are we a sports podcast? We really went
we
down a
just
rabbit
turned
hole
into
on this
one all of a sudden. Sorry.
It's all right. Listen, this is our podcast. We'll do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to finish our hot take here completely. As obviously, my hot takes are generally trying to make me a better person. So I'm generally speaking to myself.
Great.
So this one is.
you are a piece of shit.
I know. It's a quote from Buddha. Sticking with religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Sometimes it's better to be kind than to be right. We do not need an intelligent mind that speaks, but a patient heart that listens. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger.
That's a
General takeaway is, and this, again,
Even if you're right, don't be a dick.
swallow your pride and just
I am the kind of
keep the
person
peace.
who always wants to be right. It's
Me
just
too.
inherently in
Me
me
too.
as a person. But at the end of the day, what the fuck does that get me most of the time?
Oh man,
Nothing.
There's
Nothing.
an episode of Bluey about that.
I've
course there
probably
is.
seen
There is,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the takeaway there is sometimes listen. Just let the other person be right.
Yeah.
There's no hair off your back. It's not going to change anything in the grand scheme of things. So
it kind of there's an old saying and I'm going to butcher it, but it goes along the lines of you never want to wrestle with a pig because you're both going to get dirty and the pig's still going to kind of like it.
Oh, that's a good one. Also think it depends on who I'm arguing with, though. Like if it's somebody that I like and want to spend time around, I would rather just be kind to them.
Yeah.
And feel like I've got some moral superiority. But someone that I'm like, this guy sucks.
Well, that's a good point. That's a
You
good
know what
point.
I
If
mean?
you're like in a bar somewhere and some dude just wants to argue about
Oh,
SEC
yeah.
versus Big Ten, then yeah, shoot him down if you have the ability to do
Oh,
so.
hell yeah, man! If I've had enough,
But
That liquid courage will get you.
yeah, absolutely. I'll get fired up fast.
But yeah. And so no, the takeaway is just why do we care at the end of the day? Let's not always try to be the right. Sometimes maybe it's just good to be just be a good person.
Pick your battles.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. That's good.
All right.
That's
Well,
good advice.
we appreciate everyone listening to episode 28 of the podcast. We appreciate Mr. Alex Davis for being back on. I'm sure he will be back on many times in
Absolutely.
the future. Until then, cheers all, be safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for tuning in to Loggers and Loudmouths. Be sure to never miss an episode by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast streaming service. If you would like to provide feedback or suggest a topic for a future episode, please reach out to us at loggersandloudmouths@gmail.com.